darkness deep enough to hide me from your face. Even when I felt like I was rejected in a hospital or under the weight of cruel words, you were the light in the room. You didn't just watch me from a distance, you hemmed me in. You laid your hand upon my heart and whispered, I am here. I am here. So you've lived and ministered in enclosed countries where the gospel can't be spoken aloud. In those quiet, high stakes environments, what have you learned about how Jesus hems us in and communicates to us in love when the Bible is not welcomed and a church is not built?
Boy, I think I've learned, you go wherever God calls you to go. You do whatever God calls you to do because there's not a place on the planet that there aren't people who hunger and long to know Jesus. And they may not even know they hunger and long to know Jesus. I mean, I'll tell you a sweet story. I'm discipling an Iranian gal now. She's just 27. And her story is I'll see her in 3 weeks because I'm going to Armenia. And she had to flee to Armenia because the police were going to arrest her for being a Christian. Yeah, she was telling me how she had been so despairing because she came to that place of seeing that Allah he doesn't hear her. He doesn't answer prayer. He's not there, So was very devoted for a while as a little girl. And then she'd pray and she didn't want to just do rules. She wanted to experience the love of God. And she thought if Allah can't share the love of God, then he's not God. And then she got really depressed because she's like, I have nothing, right? So she turned to believe. I was surprised at this, but like alcohol, drugs, and boys. I'm just surprised she even. I said, how'd you even do that in Iran? She goes, yeah, well, we all hung out kind of secretly at school, whatever, after school. So, but it didn't satisfy, obviously, and she felt really empty. And so one day she decided, I'm just going to kill myself. So she walked down to a river or something nearby and was going to walk in and drown herself. And she literally heard audibly, which is not as common in America, but audibly a voice saying, don't do it. And she turned around to see who was reprimanding her not to do it. And there was no one. So it freaked her out. So she went home the next day. One of her friends, not party friends, but one of the classmates, I should say, was a Christian and she knew it. And she went and talked to her. She said, what happened? And the girl's like, that's God. Well, who's God? So she shared the gospel and Nellie received Christ, And so I just think, even where we can't get to, God gets there.